Astro World, welcome back to another Hardwood and Astro Turf Talk show. We are back again another week. It's been an interesting week. It's been interesting weeks previous to that as well. We had a big discussion last week on the two series that ended earlier last week as well. Like I've seen a bunch of last weeks here. Didn't mean to do it like this, but before we dive into anything, people's welcome. I am excited to be here to talk basketball today. Not a lot to talk about in terms of parity, like in the beginning of the season, but enough to dive into today because of how the series went and kind of what we expect for the NBA Finals coming up this week, starting this week. So, for any further talk,
you gotta get more hype than that. It's the NBA Finals, man. The NBA Finals, man.
I'm warming up to it. I'm warming up to it. People's, if you're in the stream, if you with us, please hit that like button. Big up yourself as well in your comment section. We'll big you up. And yeah, let me get into this talk. As always, I want to check up on my bros before I talk to you about anything. So, Hakim, was the action? How was life? How was it last week?
Life
How
is
your predictions looking?
Predictions a little shaky, but don't worry. The final one will be right no matter what. But I feel like it's Steven Seagal, man. I feel untouchable. I feel great. Life feels fantastic.
That's a poor comparison. Steven Seagal.
For those who know, I can't be touched. The man is a legend in his movies. He can't be touched. He's untouchable.
In his movies, that's the prime part. In his movies. Only in his movies.
The man's worldwide. The man's worldwide.
One of the worst actors I ever seen in my life. Whoever wrote that man's script, I'm pretty sure he probably exactly produced all he shows because there's no way that he could ever want to be this. He gotta be stronger than Thanos. Be like, come on, man. Like,
him against 20 men. He comes.
Yeah. No, it's him against an army though. He was finding a way to win. That's the type of voice Seagal is bringing. I can't.
Yeah.
I feel untouchable. That's how I feel. Untouchable.
Hakim with the jokes already. That's a good laugh. What about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain.
Finish grief.
My voice. I agree with all, to be honest. Looking at how it made my throat sad. Timberwolves my throat sorry, to be honest. But I would say all in all, I was happy with the season. I was happy that I was able to have, invested playoff series to watch. I forget what he's saying. Not just being it don't matter who win. Like actually had a chance to say, yo, it matters who win
Yeah.
in these series and stuff like that. So that felt good going this
Yeah.
far. Uh, Sorry that we couldn't be talking about them going into the finals now, but such as the course of, like I said, the NBA growth in the NBA and stuff like that. So they had a great chance, but dropped the ball. I'm looking forward to see what's next. And I guess we can get into what's next further down in the show.
Yeah. People, if you're wondering, I did not get the memo. This was probably like an inside decision. Fellas was supposed to wear blue today, it seems, but I wear all sorts of colors but blue.
Blue,
So
blue and honor, blue and reputation of the Dallas Mavericks early on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
that's what that's exactly
Slowly,
what it
slowly.
seemed
I'm like,
like to
yeah,
me.
Solidarity. Blue for our fallen soldiers in the Timberwolves.
true. There's
I
that
didn't
too.
get it.
I thought that's
I
where he
didn't
was
get
getting at first.
funeral colors. Um, Let me dive into this, right, Mon? You talk about this before. Um, Timberwolves being a sorry show for this last series in the Western Conference Finals, a conference that we said was very competitive, turned out in the finals to be everything but that. You had four, I would say three first close games, um, games in which Timberwolves did not seize the moment or the opportunity to come out on top in at least the first two. Um, and then got away with the fourth convincingly. Thought we would have seen Timberwolves ride that wave coming back home to Minnesota and like really put the pressure on Dallas, but Luka came out firing in that final game, game five. And like he said in the press conference, really set the tone, really set the pace of the game and got his guys or his teammates relaxed enough to play fluid basketball, so to speak. And they got a crazy run. Timberwolves seemed down from then, couldn't really pull it back. The lead, I think, was like 30 something at some point, and then
Yeah,
they got it
something in
down
there.
to around 20 or so, 20 something points. So really not a good showing, like you said. Really sucks to see a team that dominant throughout the entire season go out like that in the finals. So yeah, talk to me about just general thoughts on how that whole series went, kind of how it could be better, and maybe what's in the future for Timberwolves.
Uh, I just think it was a terrible showing from the Wolves. They pride themselves throughout the season for being a pretty good bounce back team, pretty resilient team. They
Mhm.
did do so with pulling out the win in Dallas, but they've had a horrible home record all playoffs. I don't know why. Uh, Again, we talked about it last week. Like home are a couple actually many playoffs started. I think you Hans would have brought it up. Like
Yeah.
home playing at home don't seem like much of that advantage, especially in these past couple of years when it comes to the playoffs. Like most
Yeah.
of the teams right now, actually, like for example, the Celtics have a better away record than home record. They're 6-0 on the road and 6-2 at home, and so does the Mavericks too. The Mavericks have a better away record at home, so I don't know. It
Yeah.
seems like playing away has has its advantages. And I heard some guys on the commentator on the broadcast, talking about how there's less distractions away. You're just in a hotel room by yourself. You don't got to worry about, I guess, your family to some extent distracting
Yeah.
you from being locked in and all that sort of stuff. So maybe we seeing I guess, the evidence of that in these playoffs um, bring fruition. But yeah, they're just being horrible at home. They came out, Luca came out and just killed them from a jump. And the thing is, they weren't playing that bad defense on Luca. Luca was just hitting some crazy shots. Ant was guarding him most of the time. Ant was
Yeah.
doing as good a job as anybody could have done, but it didn't matter. And then to me, I just felt like as though Ant had to come back on the other end and s- set a statement as well, the same way that Luca was. But obviously, I don't know if he had the energy to do it. given that he was guarding Luka and stuff like that. We heard post after the game, he was talking about being more initiate, being more prepared to play such a long season because they played over 100 games for this season and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I would say all in all, I learned a lesson. Tough that they went out that way. I felt like they should have had more fight so that the game wouldn't be so lopsided. But it's only so much you could do with Luka, especially when he scored 20 points. He scored more points than the Timberwolves in the first quarter alone. So
Yeah.
it's tough to crawl back from that. They really would have had to, impose their defensive identity on the Mavericks, and they hadn't been able to do that all series long, except for the sole game that they won. So tough way to go. I would disagree with you that it wasn't a close it wasn't a close series, but most of the games were close except the final one, in my opinion. So it
Yeah.
was pretty exciting in that regard. I could say the same for the Pacers and Celtics too, even though we all thought the Celtics would have won, but the Pacers really put out a good fight. Not to get off the tangent, but yeah, great season from the Wolves. Uh, Looking forward to what's going to happen this off season. It's going to be interesting because they got a lot of money to pay these players. Made the
Mhm.
All NBA team, and he give himself a $40 million boost to be making that team. So like
That's
things
crazy.
getting
That,
things
that's gonna
getting
happen.
tricky. Things are getting tricky in Minnesota. And they also got a situation going on with their ownership. Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lowry. These are two guys that were supposed to have the team pretty much been majority stakeholders for the past from since a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
and man, they were selling the team to pretty much back out to the back out to the agreement. So now that probably some other legal battle now that has to be fought over the course of the summer to see who's actually going to come out with having the team as a majority owner. So that's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff behind the scenes got going on this off season. So it's going to be an interesting off season for the Timberwolves. But it was fun. It was a fun ride all the way up to the Western Conference Finals. They hadn't made it in 20 years, so great to see. Great to see it from them.
Hakeem, who's being fired? Who gotta go? Let me get that off the rip, and then we can get your analysis.
Who, who's got to go? Oh Lord, oh Lord. I honestly, I have a lot of names, but I think it's best for them to run it back. I think they should run it back. Just change just improve, go back to the drawing board, see what they can improve, work on the weaknesses, get Rudy more versatile in his scoring ability. Make sure he's a little more mobile on his defense, especially get him a little more better to defend on the perimeter. You just have to
Hmm.
work on individual players. Getting that. Nasrid overall, we can always improve. I would say just mentally for him is he just had a bad game in game five.
He did.
His 3 pointers were not falling at all. I think I don't want to say either the last game and the last two game or the last two games, but he just was struggling, which was surprising. Anderson, he has to be more confident in his 3 point and his 3 pointers. He had too many open threes and decided to drive to the basket, and nothing came out of it. But I'll run about. I'll run about this year. Run about for them. So everybody's safe. Even the coach safe. The coach was injured. The coach did all he could. He was on one leg and still doing what he can. So points for that. So everybody's safe for this year, in my opinion. If
Yeah.
one man had to go, Rudy is the closest man to going. That's the truth. Rudy or Cat. You can't really trade Cat because Cat's an all star. You gotta if you trade Cat, you must get about all star. You gotta get about all star. No doubt with that. Would they take Paul
Well,
George?
Gobert
I don't
is
know.
get All Star money, so there's that too.
But I think Gobert is more gonna be more defensive at any day. So that's a question. It gotta be
I
Cat or
think
Rudy.
the biggest thing, right, to unlock Rudy is I need to be better at passing the ball to Rudy, like throwing lobs, like saying that
But
simple. He don't throw no lobs to Rudy. You see when
Rudy looks passive. He doesn't look like he wants to jump. He looks. The too many times he was in the paint and he got blocked. He didn't get shot up.
he ain't
Like
gonna offensive by me. Like Rudy is a man that just jump, catch the ball, and trade. No, that's literally all he's do. He don't have an offensive bite.
he
So
needs to
that
work on it.
turnaround fadeaway jumper that he shot, that is 1 in a million. You will never see that again.
He needs to work. He needs
Never.
to work on it.
He
He
don't
needs
need
to
to
work on
work
it.
on it. No, he doesn't.
Uh,
He doesn't.
Or something.
What
Maybe not that, but something.
I think Rudy is fine. He don't need to me. I don't think he needs to be able to have an offensive body. The only thing I would say is when he has a small player on him, he got to be able to back down
My
the player
man.
and finish eat over them easy. Like you 7'2", dog. Like
Yeah.
and then he's get fouled so easy. Yeah, those are the only things that I would say. But in terms of actually giving him the ball and letting he isolate on somebody, never in my life I would never. I didn't even know what it
Yeah,
was doing it so much in that game 5. But I need to get better at throwing lobs to Rudy. That's my
yeah.
Rudy said
That
he more screen to Ant. You know what I'm saying? It's majority just try to score off it. He don't pass the ball as much to Rudy. I feel like that's unlock that will unlock the offense a lot more than
yeah, I can see
what
that.
it is.
And plus, there are times that he would be accelerating, trying to go to the paint, realize there's no space, and then return back to the 3 point line to reset, and
Exactly.
then go
Exactly.
back again. And that slows down the game too much
Exactly.
sometimes.
Yeah.
He has to be a little more decisive in his decisions at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
to go back to Timberwolves, ultimately the series was not what they would have liked. It was not the result that they would have liked or would have hoped for. I think there were definitely some close games in those first 3 games. Definitely some games that they should have won, possibly 2 of them. But I think the point where I realized that this team wasn't going to go any further was at the end of game 4 in the press conference. And just the next couple of days, I could tell their whole vibe was like we weren't swept. We got a game 4. We made it. We can't be swept. I'll be down from swept. And I felt as if they they spent too much time on that as a message, and that was their mentality, as opposed to like the job's not done. We're going out for game 6 or yeah game
Yeah,
six yeah.
game. No,
Uh,
game 5 at that point.
game 5 at that point. Yeah, sorry, they gotta get a win, and to me they didn't have they lost they lost focus in my opinion, and you could tell in game 6 they came out. Sorry, game 5 right? They came out flat. I can't. I should
The
say
aim
more so,
low, basically.
or more so, they weren't matching the energy of the Mavs. The Mavs were focused. They knew what they had to do.
Yeah.
Luka started ferocious. The man was hitting threes like crazy, getting to the paint. It was a Luka show that first quarter. They were saying that some fan got under Luka's skin, and Luka decided, yo, let me show you what's going on. This I'm for real. Hitting threes from everywhere. But I just think the team they were burn. It seems like they were burning out at the end of the day. This is the Timberwolves I'm talking about. I just felt as if they were contented and happy with what they've done so far, and they could say at the end of the day we're going home. No one wants to lose, but they could say, we got this far, first time in 20 years. They can't be mad at us. And I feel as if they just lost sight of the end goal, in my opinion, being so near. Because there's no guarantee they might be back here. They might be back here for another 5, 10 years. The Suns haven't gone back to the finals, and we thought they were going to go back to the finals possibly next year. So you have to take advantage of your opportunities. But
Yeah.
first thing, Cat was more aggressive in that game 5, but I felt he could have done a little more. I think he got into a bit of foul trouble. Nas Reed was not Nas Reed, which is surprising because he's been glorious into playoff
That was
run.
glorious for one game.
Nah.
No, he
He's
was
been
good.
consistent. He's been solid. He's been solid. They count on him for the
Solid
threes.
and glorious is two different terms.
Glorious for a role player. Solid as an overall player.
All right. He was glorious for one game. In one game,
but
he went off.
but Nasri, he was disappointed in that game. I just
Mhm.
He was hitting a lot of bricks. I felt as if the pressure might have got to him a bit. Every shot.
Ah,
Uh, to me, it had to be. It was a closeout game. Yes, game 4 was closeout as well. But this was like I just felt like they at
you
home. I
gotta
just felt like they.
capitalize. Sorry, you gotta capitalize on when your role players are playing well. When Reed had his great game and they lost it. Jenny McDaniels
Yep.
had his great game of the series and they lost it. I don't expect the role players to come out and have exceptional performances
Well,
every single night, but the stars supposed to. So you can't
I
have the stars having a bad night and and the role players having a good night too often. You know what I'm saying? Because you running out is like a get out of jail free card. You lose so you if you lose those games, then you lose a big opportunity because there's no telling where you're going to get that performance from those role players again. But they
I
expect
agree.
you to be stars every single night.
I agree. But why when I watched Nasrid and some of the other players on on the Wolves that night in Game 5, they were missing open shots that they were routinely hitting down, knocking down. Like I watched Nasrid miss about three or four threes back to back when he had his opportunities. Like not even close. He even airballed one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Like corner, straight up angle. He was just struggling. Anderson was probably the only guy I saw from on the bench that seemed a bit consistent. Um, Even Conley seemed a little off as well. And I don't want to say that Anthony Edwards and Carson Towns they played badly. They just weren't able to keep pace of how Luca and Kyrie were playing. They started hot and they maintained that rhythm up to the fourth quarter. And I just think Timberwolves are not ready to match that intensity. To me, Rudy Gobert didn't do much in that game at all. I think there was even a point in time
You ever play that much?
yeah, there was a point in time where Timberwolves actually were getting. They had a chance. I can't remember what they got the lead down to, the deficit down to. I can't remember if it was like single digits or like 10 points or so. But it was like, there's Rudy. Rudy wasn't playing for a minute, and
In which game you talking about? Game 5?
game five, yeah, game 5.
I don't think they
Was it,
get don't
I
have
don't think
maybe they
that.
must say
Nah,
that is
was
like
it not
20.
10?
15 or so.
Was it 10 or 12? It was.
They might go ahead
Nah,
like on
I
the
don't think it was in
around
that.
15 or so. I don't think it was like 10. If anywhere between 10 and 15, they might go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay, that's right. It was decent. It was compared to where they were before. Like after 30, it was decent. And
You
then
sure it was Dalo? Because
I think it
Mavs
was, you know.
had 30 point and then finish at
It was in third
30 point.
quarter for sure. The third quarter for sure.
It was
They
the
were
third
doing well.
quarter when them had a decent run,
A
but I
run.
believe Mavs matched them and only lost so like 5 point difference in that quarter. So it would have been down to at least in my head 20.
Nah,
10 or
it was
10
bad.
or
It was
12.
gonna be 16 or
No,
18.
it went under 24, sure.
It was pretty low though. But either way, uh, they just I think Dallas called a timeout, came back, and they just changed. They turned the tables immediately. Timberwolves just
Mm.
started to make some silly mistakes again. Timberwolves beat themselves at the end. To me, well, let me
Yeah,
not say they beat themselves.
I think yeah, I think
I
they
don't
did.
want to say that. I don't want to say that because Luca was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Luka- I
agreed.
don't want to say that.
And the
And
Dallas
Kyrie was,
Mavericks played some decent defense, some
and
good defense to be honest.
Gafford gave him
Yeah,
good points.
yeah,
He
he
got the
was he
lobs.
was
He got the
blocking.
lobs as we were
Yeah.
talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another player as well too. Garrett Lively came back. I was hoping he was gonna be out with that game, but he came back. Even Nasri got to a point and gave him a whack on the neck. Say, yo, you need to go out. You need to sit out. And Garrett Lively was like,
I don't think that
nah,
was
bro.
purposeful, man.
Ah.
You can fool me. You can fool me. Garrett Lively said, no, I ain't staying this game, brother. I gotta represent my team. But
Yeah.
the role players for the Dallas Mavs showed up. So
Yeah,
I'm looking
correct.
forward to see them in the finals. Uh, Timberwolves have to just go back to the drawing board. As I said, not revamp, sorry. Just fine tune their team a little more. Work on Rudy. Work on Anthony Edwards' decision making. Get fortify Carantino's mental ability. Like he just has to get a bit stronger mentally and work on not to get into foul trouble. He gets into foul trouble way
That's the
too early in
biggest
the
thing.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
I
biggest
think
thing.
game 3 it was. If it was not game, I think it might have been game 3. He had to sit out early in the game because he had like 3 or 4 fouls by the end of the half, and it was like you can't be doing this not for all these years.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what he's saying. But here's the thing: you can't expect that to change with him. To be honest,
I
I
would
don't
like it.
expect it to change. I would
I would
like
like
it
it
too because that
too.
would make it a lot better. But I can't expect it to change after all these years. I watched the Timberwolves for the past 6, 7 years now, and it's been the same story. Let me not say that he's been foul prone most of his career, not all of it, most of it. These latter, let's say 5 or 6 years of his career, I just don't understand how the man gets stupider. It's caused more fouls. Just don't make sense to me. It did not. So I can't expect he after all this time to go and change that because that seemed like an ingrained in his system to the core. So
Mhm.
ain't nobody fault. That's a you got put some prayers
It's a strategy.
for that one to be honest.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if he gets that under control, they'll be much better. Um, Jada McDonald's working on his offense a little more, but he's known as a defensive
Ah,
player. He made the second
yeah,
NBA. He made
correct.
the all second NBA all defensive team.
Yeah,
So
all defensive team.
he's not bad, but just if you could work on it, get a bit more 3 pointing overall for the players, that help spread out the floor. You can work wonders. But I'll run about. I won't sell anyone. Keep the coach. So it goes for next year.
All right. All that about what Timberwolves didn't do right. What Timberwolves got wrong. Talk to me about the Mavs though. Talk to me about. I think it was 3 60-point games between Kyrie and Luca in the
Yeah,
series.
very simple recipe. We talked about it last week.
Come
Kyrie and
on.
Luka just showed up. They were the stars, and it was a matchup of who was going to be the better stars. And as I always say in the playoffs, the teams with the best stars usually win. So Luca and Kyrie were the better stars in this matchup. So I think they really took that. By as Lucas said, setting the tone, especially in that game five, setting the tone for the
Yeah.
team, and the role players came along and helped them to keep the lead. So they really showed up and showed out. The Wolves didn't really have an answer for them on defense after being the top rated defense all season,
Mm.
because those guys were locked in offensively. And truthfully, they were hitting some tough shots. I ain't gonna lie,
Very
but
tough
that's what
shot,
stars do. Yeah,
especially Curry. Curry was hitting some
Kyrie
tough
is
shots.
just sensational to watch. You
correct.
got you gotta watch that guy play basketball in your lifetime at some point if you get the
Yeah,
opportunity.
yeah. Shout out to the Mavs defense as well. Like the Timberwolves weren't a great offensive team all season long.
Right.
So they really keyed in on the weaknesses of the team and were able to lock up, especially in the rim. In that last game, Daniel Gafford was really protecting the paint very well. I must say, to me, he was a better rim deterrent than Rudy Gobert
How many
in some
blocks he had?
fashion.
Like three per game for the series
Pretty,
or something like
yeah,
that.
he averaged like 3 blocks a game for the series, which is
Yeah,
crazy. Um, so
That's work. That's
so
called
them
putting
on
in
defense
work.
as well.
And then you gotta give a big shout out to the rookie as well,
And
playing
they're lively.
playing really really physical and having a huge impact. I felt like when Mavs lost that game four, I felt like it was because of Derek Lively being out and kind of showing that in game five when he came back, it was like all right, night night for the Timberwolves in the
and he
paint.
de-
So
he,
it's,
def- he definitely made a difference in my opinion.
yeah,
On bo- on both
he's a
end, on both
very
ends, on both ends.
facts. Lob City is where the Mavs at right now, and Mark Cuban gonna be a very very happy man. So
So he has to
we'll
be
see.
ecstatic. Only other owner that probably is more excited than him for nothing will be Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer gets excited over anything,
Everything.
anything,
Yeah.
yeah, everything. Lord have mercy.
So yeah, big shout outs to the Dallas Mavericks. Um, talking about Pacers and Celtics though. Pa- Celtics almost had the stinker that we was going to
Yeah, almost in that
hit.
last game.
Almost had it.
Yep.
But Pacers just couldn't quite close out the game as I wanted them to, unfortunately. But kudos to Jalen Brown for getting MVP.
Yeah, the MVP.
Um,
Oh yeah, Luca. We
he
didn't mention Luca got the MVP for the last series as well.
yeah, he did. But Jalen Brown performance over the entire series was really impressive to see. You can see a lot of growth from Jalen Brown over the past couple of years that they've made it this far. That and didn't quite get the job done, but like he really stepped up and like showed his dominance in that series when called upon. So big shout out to him. But talk to me about the series, the closeness, the competitiveness of the series, and like where Pacers really got it wrong, or did they and could they have been better?
And I didn't think the Pacers. I don't know who had the Pacers to win this series at all. I think that would have been a stretch, really and truly. Um, but even with well, let me first mention Tyrese Halliburton. They only played 2 of the games. He
Yeah.
was out the last 2 games, so there's that. But Pacers can't guard anybody at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think the recipe for the Celtics, they could get very stagnant offensively, and we saw some of it in this series, even though the Pacers weren't that great defensively. So that's why the games got a little bit close. If they had just a bit more defense on their side compared with that crazy offense, they might have had a chance against the Celtics. But
Mhm.
um, nah, I didn't see it happening. But like what I can commend them on is they're keeping their identity even though Tyrese was out. They kept the ball moving, uh, and playing unselfish basketball. Like that's been their identity all season. And you see guys step up in the place of Tyrese. We had Andrew Nemhard going for 30 something in game three, and
Yep.
I think he had 20 something in game four as well. So Pascal Siakam chipping in, doing his averaging about 20 a game in that series too. But ultimately, I just didn't have the star power. And when it gets to this far in the playoffs, star power is what's needed. And the
Yeah.
Celtics had it all in Tatum and Brown.
Boss hockey.
I'm gonna have to marry one. And definitely for this, like I don't think anyone in the world. I won't even go as far. I will also want to go as far to say not even Reggie Miller, the great Reggie Miller, probably thought that, that his team Pacers could beat the Celtics. The Celtics are strong in every way. The only way to beat the Celtics is pray that they have an off night where they just have a lapse, where JT has a lapse. But even so, Jalen Brown steps up, Garrett White can step up, like Drew Holiday can step up, and all those four players I just called are also very good defensively. So honestly, the Pacers never had a chance unless they were shooting threes like crazy and making them a high percentage like how they did it in Game 7 against the Knicks. The Pacers never had a chance. They did the best, uh, and the odds were against them, especially when Tyrese went down after Game 2. So I mean, they did the best they could. Pascal did what he can, what he could, and he tried his best. Ultimately, the Pacers have to feel accomplished. They should feel
Yeah,
accomplished
for
how far they've
sure.
got, how far they've gotten. This has been an
Yeah, for
amazing playoff
sure.
run. And they've gone on record saying I think they had a bit of luck. Everyone needs it. Everyone needs it,
A lot of luck.
and they
Create your
gotta,
own luck.
you know. Leprechaun must be working overtime for Celtics because they probably had the most luck this playoff run. But so they did what they're supposed to do. They got the job done. They must be well rested. Everybody healthy. No
Most definitely.
injuries. Team is deep. They getting back Kristaps. So I mean, like they're in a fantastic position. They must be excited. Their biggest question right now is if to play Brian Porzingis or to keep Al Horford at the center. That must
Mhm.
that must be one thing they must be thinking. What should we do? But other than that, these guys ready for the finals. They locked and loaded. So it's gonna be an exciting series.
The finals, peoples.
The
We are here.
final,
Mhm.
The finals.
the NBA
Long
finals.
awaited for Kyrie Irving. It's been what 7 years or so that he's been chipping away at
2016,
this.
2017 is the last
27,
one, right?
yeah,
2017. Yeah.
2016, 2016.
I thought he
Yeah,
left. He didn't. He left after 16. I thought he left after 17.
2016, 2017,
2016.
2016, they win the 2016 NBA championship. I don't know if they're counting the year that the season start or the
20 because
year that
they
the
won.
season
They won.
end.
They won. They won the championship in 2016. Then Kevin
Right, so
Durant
it's
came,
2016.
but Kevin Durant didn't come in next year, and I thought LeBron lost with Kyrie against Kevin Durant.
Oh, I was talking about winning.
Oh, fair enough. Oh,
Last champion that he
yeah,
win.
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was when last thing got the finals. My bad. Fair enough.
Mhm.
But
But
yeah,
sorry. Either way,
hyped up.
did he even play that much in our finals though? No, no, I think about it.
I think he
I
got
need to go
injured. I,
back.
I, I think
Yeah,
he got
that's what we
injured
were
at some
saying. Like,
point.
I
At
think,
some
yeah,
point
I
in time,
feel like he got injured in the finals
it was only
there.
LeBron against. It was only LeBron against against those four.
So I don't even know if he even get a player to be honest. I think that's when LeBron was like, This is
averaging.
finals.
He
Like
was
he had
averaging
like
like
a 50 ball in the
for
first game or something like that. And
for
JR
crazy
and
numbers.
JR
Yeah, yeah,
JR
yeah.
forget the time or some stupidness like that. I think that was the one, you know.
Yeah, that would have
So I'm
changed the
pretty sure
entire
Kyrie
series.
didn't play in that one. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god, I might be wrong, but jeez. Nah,
I mean,
Kyrie played in that 2017 finals. So I don't
Playing
know.
that one. Okay,
Yeah,
might have been 2018 then.
I didn't know what it was, but that was crazy. There's one that he didn't play in for sure. But either way, moving on. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
I
boy.
was I was just going to hype it up from both
Hmm.
ends. Basically saying it's been a while since Kyrie was in this position. Since the downfall of Cleveland. In those years when there was the split, LeBron went to Heat, whatever, and Kyrie from then on had a lot of unfortunate situations between the media and the NBA organization and all these kind of things. Finally got it together after the trade last year, which a lot of people didn't really think would have worked, but happy to see that they figured it out and they've gotten this far to know Luca deserved to be in this position, arguably one of the best players. Well, some people may argue he's the best player in the league right now. The way he plays, he didn't get the MVP. Some will argue that he should have gotten that as well. And then on the other hand, we got the Celtics, a team that Kyrie came from, a team that Kyrie helped to nurture in a sense with Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, and now it's come full circle where basically the master is against the students, and we get to see um, their development. I'm talking about the Celtics development throughout those years that Kyrie was able to put in his piece and then had left, and we don't know what goes on in NBA circles, off the court or outside the games, where these guys also interact with each other, maybe play against each other in the summer or whatever, what have you. Little things that are stories that you hear after the fact, players' career, where people talk about how they interact with each other. But I digress on that end. I think this is a good matchup between both teams. Um, really excited to see how the Celtics is going to get over this hurdle that they have been to the finals. This is going to be the third time, I believe, with this core team, and they failed twice. Is the third time the charm? We don't know. We will
This is
see.
third time.
But yeah, I think so.
Ready? They lost
No,
against the Warriors. Lost. It's only second time. They lost against the
well,
Warriors.
it is only second time. It's second time
It's
that they
second
made
time.
it to the finals. Yeah, this
Yeah.
specific core group
Bucks. Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Only
okay,
lost, I
yes,
think we lost to
in
the
yes.
the
Warriors. Yeah.
last in the last
They lost in the
24
conference
years.
finals is when they
Yeah,
lost.
the last 24 years, this would be third in the Celtics as a team made it to the finals in the last 24 years.
Cool.
So
So
they
it
went
was the
in
conference finals
2008.
that had those two
That's when they
finals.
went last.
Yeah.
I don't think they went a time before.
Nah,
Um,
that's gonna be the last one.
before or after then since 20. Yeah, since
That's yeah. 2008 has been the last one.
yeah.
But yeah, they're here again. Um and I think we get to see something special. I think this series will go in seven. I'm not giving my prediction yet, but I think this is a good I think this is a good matchup. What are you thinking, Hakeem?
I think this is a phenomenal matchup. Uh, I'm really excited to see. I mean, there's a lot of drama off the court for some of the reasons you just mentioned. With Kyrie being a former Celtic, Kristaps being a former Mav.
Mavs.
Um, it's just a lot going on. The whole, they say the Boston Celtics have been, let's say, a little hostile towards Kyrie. Kyrie is not. Kyrie has, Kyrie has been low key disrespectful to the Celtics fans over the years. It goes both ways. So I mean, JT and JB have matured. are no, some might say, borderline veteran players, or just
Yep.
they're elite players at any day. They're no longer those young cubs, quote unquote, they were when Kerry was there. So it's very interesting, and I see you saying the Star Wars analogy, but I'm excited. So this is gonna be a good battle all around. Somebody's gonna get a first ring today. Well, first ring this series. Luca, JT, JB. I'm very intrigued. How is Luca gonna match with the pace of the pace of the Celtics and their defensive schemes? Who's gonna guard Kyrie? Who's gonna stop JT? Who's gonna put up with JB? I'm very intrigued by this. So all around, this is gonna be a great series.
Uh, off the bat, I think it can come down to the stars again at the end of the day. I feel like defensively, both of these teams have advantages in different areas that will be beneficial, and that kind of cancels it out. And
Mhm.
then with stars that are going to be more offensively consistent. Uh, so will we get a great exceptional Jason Tatum, or will we get stakes of 24 Jason Tatum? Will we get exceptional Luka Doncic, or will we get um, 8 for 25 Luka Doncic? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
is it going to be all about how the stars perform, how efficient they perform, and how they set the tone for their teams? Uh, to me, I feel like given that in mind, the series maybe swinging towards the Dallas Mavericks, because I feel like Luca's impact in the game is a little bit more exponential than JC's impact when you look at the counting stats and when you look at the energy that uh, Luca could bring to the series. Um, and then Kyrie's also one of those guys that are pretty infectious in my opinion, especially with his pace. Talk about pace
Yeah.
hacking, but I feel like the Mavericks have a more team that would, you know, try to capitalize on pace, especially with Kyrie on the court. Um,
Only with Kyrie driving. If
yeah,
Kyrie isn't driving, they play kind of slow, in my
right.
opinion.
But on the other end, I don't see the Celtics moving with a lot of pace. I think they probably have one of the slowest
JB,
paces for the year.
When JB went
I'm not
downhill,
talking
JB.
about just speed. I'm talking about playing with pace. Speed and playing with pace is two
All right,
different
fair,
things.
fair. They do take their time to get the best shot.
Issues with the Celtics is that they take a little while to, as I said, the offense can get stagnant at times. If you're playing with pace, the offense is not going to get stagnant because the ball going to be moving. The energy that you're playing with, the drive and kicks, all that sort of stuff. Not to say that the Celtics don't do that, but there's more. There's many more times that they end up in an isolation situation versus moving the ball. So
Yeah.
as I say, this one is interesting because I think the teams match up pretty well all across the board, especially when you look at the defensive matches. You got somebody to guard Kyrie, you got somebody to guard Luca, you got somebody to guard Jason Tatum, you got somebody to guard Jalen Brown. So on that
When you
end,
say they got
only space,
somewhere to guard Kyrie, I laugh.
I mean, somebody got guarded at the end of the day, regardless of
Oh yeah,
how you want to
there
see it.
must be a body present. I get it.
Yes, but I mean, some people we got you got Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is one of the toughest defenders in the league. He's touted as that. So I don't see where he can
I would
disrupt
actually
Kyrie to
like
some
to. I would
degree.
like to see that matchup. I
And you
would
got
like to
Derek
see
White.
that.
Derek White is one of the best defenders in the NBA. So
Derek
like,
White ain't getting close to Kyrie.
come on,
I don't
man.
I don't
Derek,
think
I
anyone. I
don't think
don't think
Kyrie's unstoppable.
no one. Yeah, he is. He is.
He's
I
not
don't.
always unstoppable. I don't think there's going to be.
It's only
I don't think.
who's gonna stop
I
him.
don't. I don't think that he's not going. He's going to play unaffected by anything that the Celtics do. You
I
be
don't.
telling me
I,
there's nothing that the Celtics could do that can affect him? Like, come on, man.
I believe for the
man,
most part, there's nothing you can do to stop him from getting his points when he's ready, when he's ready to go. The one thing you can hope for Kerry is that you get him, you make him work on defense,
Exactly.
and
You
hopefully
disrupt
get him
him
a little
some.
tired,
Yeah.
and I hopefully get him a little
Exactly.
tired,
Disrupt
which
his
might
flow.
which may only, to my opinion, affect him in the third quarter, because he always comes up, majority or not, he comes up pretty big in the fourth quarter. So he might get a slow start. You might think that you're affecting his gameplay, which you might be, but when it comes in those last two quarters, especially last quarter, he steps up accordingly. So I think ultimately, in result, Curry's gonna have about 27 points minimum. And that's a given. You can't stop that. You
Average.
most yeah, definitely at least 27 points average. If you mess around, you might get him in the low 30s. But
Mhm.
definitely Curry's. I don't think Curry. I think Curry's gonna be unstoppable in this series. I don't care who you put on him. Al Horford, Derek White, JT, JB, all being cooked. All being cooked.
Mhm.
Jesus.
Jesus, all being cooked. But funny enough, I actually watched the movie with Jesus the other day. I can't really call it. It was a basketball movie with Allen. It was funny as hell.
Oh, Jesus Sutterworth.
Yes,
I can't remember the picture name.
I mean,
I know you
yeah,
mean
but
though.
yeah, but it's hilarious with Denzel. With Denzel,
Yeah.
so you can put Jesus on him. Same result, being cooked. Uh, but yeah, so Curry's gonna get his. Luca, Luca's gonna be effective. I think Luca is more to me. I see Luca being more prone to having a off game than Curry, in my opinion. But the one thing
Mhm.
about Luca that I will say is definitely he gets so much attention, rightfully so, that he's able to distribute the ball and for his bigs, which you're not gonna miss from a dunk. Like Derek Lively is, I don't think he missed a single bucket uh in in the game being live.
In the Minnesota
Yeah,
series, he missed anything
exactly. I think
because
it's 16 for
he only
16.
he only do dunks. Yeah,
Exactly. So it's
literally
like
that.
you that's unstoppable. Luca is able to do it at the right time, make the pass, and get his bigs involved in the game. Similar to Gafford, he was able to utilize Gafford. So that's going to be a problem for Celtics, most definitely.
Yeah, given that Kristaps out too.
Yeah, well, I think he's returning for this
Well,
game for the series.
I ain't sure. I don't know. I don't know if
I
he
heard
may
he's
actually
returning.
start.
We
Question
might
He
not
might
mark.
return for
start.
the series,
He,
but I don't know
he
if
might
he
not
might not
start.
start any
He
game
might not
one.
start. But definitely,
Oh.
Fred's gonna have it. He's gonna have Horford definitely gonna have his hands full.
For
If
Uh,
Al
sure.
Horford on the court, I feel like he can get run
Horford,
around
yeah, for
pretty
sure.
easy
Gafford's gonna
because
cook him.
this
But he's a
Dallas team is a fairly young team too.
yeah.
Kyrie's probably the oldest guy on this team. All the other guys are pretty young, pretty
Most definitely.
athletic. It's gonna be tough.
So most definitely. So I think Mavs have a good recipe. Uh, keep playing this style of play. It's gonna be ISO ball. Make sure you get your quick transition buckets with Kyrie. Luca, take your open shots. Take your shots. If you're getting double team and you believe you have a better shot with somebody else, distribute the ball to the bigs. PJ Washington needs to keep knocking on his threes to spread the floor.
But
The
that's the
Mavs in a
thing
good.
though. If yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Miles in a good spot. But the thing is, if Luca goes off early, they can start double teaming him because that's the only way people will see fit to like kind of stop a guy on the
That,
road like
and then
that.
and then that opens
Then
the
that could
game.
just open up everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
So
if he gets cold, Curry is able to just go off. That's the great thing with these
yeah,
players. These
the
players can
engine
go off
running.
at any point in time. They don't need to be get 2 3 shots to get to see go in and hope for the best. No, they can miss 4 or 5 shots back to back and yeah, and then go off just like that. So that's the recipe for the Mavs. The Celtics, they gotta keep mentally locked in. They gotta make sure JT and JB keeps mentally locked in. Uh, make sure they play the best defense of their lives. Keep
Mhm.
rotating the defense are the players on Kyrie and Luca. Just keep rotating the players. I don't think any one player is going to be able to stop either of those players for the entire game. So definitely have to do a lot of rotations on them.
So
Um,
the tactic for the rotations would be like to mess with the rhythm. Is that how that works?
it's the rhythm. Get as when they do the screen and they switch in player and Lucas asking for the switch or Kyrie asking for the switch or for the screen I should say my bad the screen you gotta make sure you switch. Every player you switch onto should be able to guard Luca and Kyrie just to make it
Mm.
difficult. All right, let's try to slow them down. That they're gonna have to hope for that. And as I said, and that being the method, you need to do that so you don't tire out really true. You don't tire out JB and JT. You just can't have them tired on defense. You need to make sure that they play defense, yes, but you gotta make sure they keep their energy for the game
Yeah, this
because
is a funny thing,
Kyrie's
right? Sorry. you mentioning that. The funny thing about it is, if you realize, going from last series, the recipe is the Dallas Mavericks have two wing players that they could put on the opposing team's best offensive players. But in both of these instances, no, in the last series, um, Anthony Edwards had a guard Luca or Kyrie. I know in this series, Jalen Brown may have to guard Luca or Kyrie. Either Jalen Brown or Jason Tatum have to guard.
Yeah,
Maybe Tatum might end up on Luca, for example. You know what I'm saying? Like one of their best players had to guard one of the other, but
yeah,
but the Dallas Mavericks set up so that none of their best players have to guard the other team's best players.
yeah.
If you get what I'm saying, so
and
that's an
I,
interesting recipe.
yeah. So you can't. They can't afford to leave JB or JT on Luca and Kerry for the majority of the game. They gotta make
Right.
sure they're switching the players out, or those players will
Mhm.
get fatigued towards the fourth quarter.
Can't
We
shoot.
need we
Yeah.
need to be sharp. And if they know they can't shoot, they're gonna start passing out and know what happen. It might lead to turnovers, a sloppy
Yep.
pass, the
Yeah.
mishandle the ball and it goes out of bounds. So that's what they need to do for sure. Drew Holiday got placed on the best defense on his in his life.
His life,
If he's one man that could guard that's gonna have to do majority defensive work, he could be guarding Kyrie the majority of the night.
and I
That'd
think
be
he
He
can guard some
he
of
can
Luca
take
too.
screens though. He can take some screens out this
oh
one.
for sure. But
I know
he got. I didn't hear you right when you were saying something else.
I was saying that he got to some of Luca too. I feel like they can put
Yeah,
him on Luca a little bit too.
he has to, but he got to do a lot of dirty work. He got no choice. So that's the recipe for the Celtics. Just play
But the
good
good thing
defense,
about
stay
him
locked in.
though, before you continue quickly, the good thing about Drew is that he's not a guy that typically gets in for trouble early. So he works on you for the entire game.
Yeah,
So if you can't keep up, then he's a problem to deal with.
yeah, and that's what they gotta do. He got definitely show his worth. And the
Mhm.
Celtics will have a chance. I think they have a chance. I do give my prediction earlier. I do see it going to about 7 games is most likely option. But if the Celtics mess around, they could lose in six. If they slip up, they could lose in six. But I see seven being the most likely option for this series. So it's gonna be one
Um,
by Dallas at Celtics home ground at the Garden.
yeah, I going with Mavericks in seven. As I say, I think the way the Celtics could win the series is met Kyrie and Luca work on defense. Uh, Timberwolves
Which
haven't
they don't
been
got
able
a
to.
problem with. Because that's
Well,
what they've
I
been
don't know about
doing.
that. I
Well,
don't know about that.
Luca maybe, but
We ain't get to see
Kyrie
much of
has
it in the
been,
first place in none of the
yeah,
series that
but
they played
Kyrie has been
prior.
the guy that's
Yeah,
that's
he. I
been
can say, yeah, Kyrie
putting it
step up.
on
Yeah,
defense.
on defense. No, I can't say that Luca did has that as well, but there are more
Right.
times where Luca is prone to poor defense that I've seen it in the series
Yeah.
that I've watched with him. I think they need to attack Luca a lot more and make him work on the defensive end. I think the Celtics have the recipe to do it, but I don't know if they'll be able to repeat it over and over and over again. Um, I just feel like the Mavericks have the two better stars, and as I said, they have their two best offensive players do not have to take the assignments of the two best offensive players on the next team. So that gives them some rest.
Yeah.
And I think that is a recipe for success, especially so late in the playoffs. So I go in with the Mavs with those things taken into account. And I just feel like Luca, it would be motivated to have some crazy games. Kyrie as well, knowing being in the spot before, know what it takes. So all those things
Yep.
incorporated. And two, I don't know how healthy Kristaps is going to be coming back, but I think those bigs are going to be a big problem for the Celtics. Uh, if Kristaps is not there, then what's the solution? I mean, our Horford can only do so much, man. Like he's 36 or 37. Like, geez, get him on a break. And they already got much backup options that I would want to play, to be honest. So I think
Yeah,
it's going
that's
in
the
my
thing.
favor from my end.
That's the thing. Mavs got backup that come with energy. A prime example is Jalen his name, his last name. Hardy,
Mhm.
he's a guy that actually I would say won coach's trust in a sense to come on and keep the game moving. Um, and I think Mavs got that young energy on their side off the bench. I think Luca's gonna have to play more defense. He like Celtics got shooters. You can't leave anybody on the perimeter to shoot. Otherwise, you're gonna get splash on. You're gonna get soaked. So Luca got to play more defense for sure. And if he gets tired, then
I
That's a
rather,
trouble, though.
I can see Mavs slipping.
I rather Luca save his energy for the offense. To be honest, because
Yeah, but
I
he has
rather
to play defense. If he
just
doesn't play defense, then he gotta
just
be crazy on the offense.
he just got con. He always gonna be crazy on the offense. He just has to
Not
contest. But
always.
Not always.
I don't want Luca fighting through screens and running. I don't want Luca doing all that kind of work unnecessary. If you see
Right,
perimeter
but
man, jump to the perimeter, contest the three, hope for the best, go from there. But I don't want you fighting through screens and taking fouls
But
and
yeah,
no. I don't want none of that for Luca.
right. At the end of the day, they don't have anybody to like kind of hide on because on the starting fight for the Celtics is like
yeah.
you got Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday could beat you off the dribble. You got Derek White. Derek White could beat you off the dribble. You got Jason Tatum. You got Jalen Brown. You got to tap one of them. I'm pretty sure they might probably put him on Derek White or somebody like that, or
It's
Drew
more like
Holiday
it's more
more
like a
than likely. Yeah, but
Putting Luke on
I
True
don't know.
Holiday though, not on the perimeter
I
because he can get around pass. That's for sure.
Yeah, they got to attack him,
It's-
but I just feel like the Mavs have the momentum as well.
Mhm.
I won't be surprised. This is a tough one to call. It could
it
go
really
either
is.
way.
It really is. It's
It,
about who's mentally locked.
it could,
I
yeah,
just think the Mavs are more focused and they're stronger mentally, and I think they have what it takes. Kerry has it. Kerry is really using his championship DNA and his veteran presence to guide this team. He sounds extremely focused and he knows what has to be done. Luca, obviously, I'm gonna say he's focused, but look, he kind of scared me with the beer. And if you guys saw the clip that's been going around with the beer, Michael
yeah,
Finley
so
taking his beer, that was hilarious. He said, "Not today, not today." But
the job's
I just
not
feel that
done.
job's not done. I just feel the Celtics they clock out too much, and they've seen better this year. But I just can't put faith in Celtics. They're mentally locked in for this entire series. They're gonna
yeah.
clock out at least 1 or 2 games, and then with 2 games,
Especially if they lose at
they might,
home
they might be up 3-2 in
twice.
the series, right? And they might clock out in game 6 and then lose it in game 7. I could see that happen to Celtics easily, right? So I just think is both a physical and mental game, and I just think that the Dallas Mavericks beat them mentally.
Possibly
So
physically as well.
so
And possibly
so then who's under the most pressure to win the
Celtics.
series then?
Celtics by far.
Celtics. If the
Celtics
Celtics lose
by
again,
far.
right? If the Celtics lose again, I honestly feel bad for them. I don't know. I don't like the
Yeah, I would feel
Celtics.
bad too,
I don't
but
like the
I ain't
Celtics.
really care either.
But I want Mavs to win. But like part of me feels kind of sad if if JT and JB lose again. Like I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't want you to win. It's like whoever gets to the finals, more likely or not, I like the other team. It's just a coincidence. I have nothing against them, but if the Phoenix Suns had to maybe make it to the finals, I would say let Celtics win. Let Celtics win. You know, like certain if the Thunder made it, Thunder they might get back in it. You're a young team, they might get back there again. Let Celtics get it. But just a coincidence that they play the Mavs and they do not want the Celtics to win. If the Wolves got there, if the Wolves got there, I do not want Celtics to win. So I kind of feel bad for them, and they're under the most pressure. They've made it. They've honestly been a good team these last, I want to say 5, 6, 7 years. They've been making it to the conference finals. Second trip to the NBA. The players are technically still young, but they're gonna lose again. The fans are probably go crazy and say, "We have to fire the coach." The coach might lose his job. Honestly, seriously, he might lose his job.
I keep her back on the boots.
The Celtics
Somebody
have
gotta go.
the
I ain't
Celtics,
start calling hacking the fire squad because I ain't understand.
the Celtics
Jeez,
have high
any
demand.
chance?
The Celtics have high demands. They have high expectations. It's ring
Mhm.
or nothing for this team. If they lose, they want to say, well, he didn't get through to the players. Like there's gonna be someone has to go. I tell you, they're gonna be ready to draw. They draw. They get traded. Not saying he's been a bad player, but they're just tweaking the formula all the time. Every year they're tweaking the formula.
Bro, if they trade Drew,
They've been trading point
something
guard a
wrong
lot.
with the
They've
Celtics.
traded the point guard almost every year for the last 3 4 years. The point guard has been traded every single time. How Michael Brogdon up to last
Listen to
year?
me. If they trade Drew, that's a big
Sorry, Malcolm
mistake for the
Malcolm Brogdon.
Celtics.
Sorry.
Mhm.
That's a big mistake for the Celtics.
Already getting
Supposing
super far
supposing
ahead.
supposing you could get Damian Lillard. You want to take them over Drew?
No,
Really?
not on the
But I
Celtics.
but saying some people might
Switch
even say
back though, not like he's saying Dame and Drew. That's another switch back. That's like sorry, Drew. We make a mistake by
it
trading
can't
you
be.
over to the
It's
Celtics.
not.
That's
It's not a switch.
that's not gonna happen.
But wait. It's not a switch
Because
back
the Bucks
because
will be getting back Drew Holiday.
Drew the Celtics
Yeah,
never had
listen.
Dame, so the Celtics never
But
had
he
Dame.
talking about the perspective from the Bucks.
Yeah,
But we
from the
care about the
Bucks side.
Bucks. We care about the Celtics. The whole thing Celtics get better. Somebody will gotta go. And then, the way how our Horford was on the Celtics, got traded away, and then came back. Let's not forget that. Let's not
No,
forget
what
that. So it happens. It happens. I think man was going. Dwayne Wade. Well, he's a superstar, obviously. Left the Miami Heat, played a couple seasons abroad, come back to the Heat. Like
Shit, boy,
nothing
that
ever
was horrible
happened.
time, boy.
It was that was crazy. That was crazy. Mine was in Ohio with Cavaliers,
Yeah,
and in Chicago,
Derrick Rose,
it was like, brother,
Damian Wade, Isaiah Thomas.
that
Like
was a loaded
what?
team. That was a
Yeah,
loaded team. That
loaded.
team. And then
That team
everybody
was so
got
empty.
and then everybody nah, that team was loaded. That team was crazy.
Dog, that had
Everybody
a bunch of men that was a shell of themselves, a shell of their performance. Isaiah Thomas,
loaded in
Derrick Rose,
names.
and Dwayne Wade. Come
Yeah,
on.
paper loaded on paper.
And then but he traded their lane, but it was gone. That was
Exactly.
everybody.
Come on. Because they know it was
Yeah,
terrible. It was a terrible idea.
yeah. But but yeah, so Celtics definitely most pressure. They have everything to lose. They have everything to lose for sure. But the good thing for them, if they lose, when they lose, they probably
Yeah.
get back there. They probably get back there within a year or two.
So so you got Mavs in 7, right? One, you also got Mavs in 7, right?
Yeah.
Could be potentially 6 if the Celtics fool around.
When
Oh, you said
dealing
7
with
already.
potentials.
Potentially.
I said
It's-
6
it's
already.
way-
It
it's
says
What are you
6
way-
already.
working with?
It says 6 already. Everybody on
So
this show
is it-
already.
You
Wait,
said
wait.
potentially. You put
Wait,
potentially
wait.
behind that.
Potentially
Which one it
six.
I
is?
said it already. It's 7.
Which one it is?
It's 7 with the little pizzazz
There's no
saying
ifs.
that.
There's no
No,
ifs.
and you
gotta
gotta
say what
say
it
the
is. Is
number,
it 6
boss.
or is it 7 full stop? Nothing else.
6.5.
You
Nah.
want little like
It's
contingency
it's
placements.
it's 7. I'm choosing 7, but I'm just gonna say
Okay.
if Celtics have an off night, they clock out, it can easily get wrapped up in 6.
Okay.
Cool.
So
What's your
7.
prediction?
7 and 7. My prediction is 6. That's my prediction.
Miles
I
and
think-
6.
I think once the Mavs put the pepper in Celtics early, the Celtics can crawl back to 1 or 2. And all right, this is how I feel the season can go. Mavs, not the season, sorry, the series.
Series.
Mavs, Celtics, Mavs, Celtics, Mavs.
Mavs. I mean, we were just doing. It's Mavs, Celtics.
Celtics, Mavs, Celtics, Mavs, and it done there.
It's 7 games.
No, not si-
So you
Mavs,
No, that's
Mavs,
6.
Mavs,
Celtics.
Celtics, Mavs,
Mavs.
Celtics,
Celtics.
Mavs. Oh,
Yeah, and it done.
okay, got you.
Oh, you there with no CM?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
MC? I already know. But yeah, I think Mavs, because the series starts home court, Mavs gonna come out hot. Curry got on his mind to shut up this crowd. Luca the same thing. Don't say the wrong thing to Luca fans,
Two
otherwise it's
games,
trouble.
I was winning 2 games away from home is pretty bold though.
They
That's
did
I
pretty.
it.
won't put it like that. I
They
will
did it.
put it like 1-1.
Yeah, this is boss. This is guarding. You know, this that's pretty bold.
It don't matter where it is, buddy. Say the wrong thing courtside, and you can see. Obviously, this team can be ready. They got a whole week to prepare, which I excited about. Both teams finish up the series pretty early, so the everybody doing the homework right now. Everybody probably in the lab looking at film, doing what they gotta do to figure out how to beat each other. And I think Mavs can come out swinging. Put two hot ones in Celtics. Celtics can regroup. And then Mavs can come back again. Celtics can come back with another one. Series can be at 3-2, and it's gonna be a wrap in six.
Let me tell
Series
you.
end 4-2.
Let me tell you how this is gonna go. Miles gonna come out swinging first game. Celtics are
Mhm.
gonna come out playing amazing ball, but the Mavs are gonna snatch the game. Game
Mhm.
one, straight to the Mavs. Celtics, redemption game. They're gonna probably destroy the Celtics. Sorry, destroy the Mavs. So
I don't know, but
it's go back
okay.
to Dallas 1-0. Then the
Mhm.
Celtics are gonna take the lead to 1. Mavs
Oh,
uh
Celtics leading the series. Okay,
to 1.
nice.
Then the Mavs even it up to all. Celtics go up 3-2. Then the Mavs win the last 2 games. That's how it's going.
Putting the Mavs on the back foot. So you
Yeah,
saying that Celtics can really throw away the series,
not sure.
basically.
No, I don't say throw it away. Just the Mavs are step up. They're gonna hit
Well,
6. They're gonna hit 6 gear. Matter of fact, they hit in sports mode. That's what
I think
happening.
I say race mode. Okay, fair enough. I said sports mode. Sports
So
mode is cruisy.
who you got as the MVP?
That's the Audi
Fair
MVP for
enough.
the series?
MVP. Kerry.
Who you got, Hans?
I choose Kyrie last time on Luca Gate boy. I got I got uh I got Luca to get it. I got Luca to get it because it seems like he's just do a little bit more. I think Kyrie more comfortable being the support
The
for the
secondary,
young
yeah.
buck, and I think Luca is the guy to get the majority of the buckets. So I can go with Luca this toss based off of last series. Who you working with?
Again, Luca easy. That's an easy pick for me. I think Luca can always be the driving force for the team, regardless of however Kyrie perform. It would be very
Yeah.
surprising if Kyrie get the award, in my opinion. He would have to be going absolutely berserk. He would probably like average 30, 35 for the series or something like that.
Mhm.
But it would be cool for Kyrie to get the award because I don't think he won it. I don't think. Well, no, not think he ain't win it.
Yeah.
He ain't got many other chances of winning it, so he might be motivated to go there and play the best basketball ever in his life. And that might just
I,
result in
I,
saying that we never seen before.
I think he's motivated to definitely win the chip, but I don't think he cares
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
about the MVP, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
But
think
that
he's
motivation might cause him to
confident.
cut them boys.
That's gonna happen.
So yeah,
Wait, everyone, you want to give us a series game by game prediction?
nah, I don't care how it go.
As long
Mavericks,
as Mavs get it
Mavericks in
done.
7, dog.
So,
As long as Mavs get it done, you know what I mean?
I kind of sided with Hakeem's take on it. I don't know if the Mavs can come out and win two.
Mhm.
I think it would start off one apiece. Mavs can get one from the Celtics, and then it will go from there. However it go, but
However you go, you don't
no
care.
super
As long
detail.
as
I just interested to see how
a-
it go in the
as
first
long
place.
as it
I have
ain't
to watch it.
seven,
can't be 3-1, that's for
Yeah,
sure. Can't be 3-1
as
to
long
any
as it
team
ain't
though.
seven, it can't be.
Cannot be
um,
3-1.
I don't know if it made how much of a difference. I just say these. Uh, I guess. I guess so because I feel like when players
So you
see
saying
the
one
team
one
get to
two
three,
two three three, and then four basically,
Yeah, it gotta
because
be. It just can't go 3-1. That's all.
so it can be take for tat all the way.
Yep,
Okay, fair enough.
that's what I
Fair
said.
enough. Like cool. Any predictions for
mm,
anybody watching? I would like to see if anybody making any predictions that watching. That'd be interesting.
mm-hmm.
Some bold predictions.
Danielle has been a trooper. Danielle, if you're still on the stream, I would like to hear a prediction or see a prediction, whichever one people prefer to. I want yeah, people send in some predictions. I want to see what you're thinking. But I think to close off this whole point, it's going to be a good series. Like we all said,
Mm-hmm.
we expect to have better. We don't want a sweep. We don't want a gentleman
Most
sweep
definitely not.
either. This needs to be a good series, something worth watching, and it needs to be as competitive as it can get. So Danielle agreeing with you guys. cool, cool. I by myself, boys. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's it basically for basketball. Really looking forward to game one. Is game one Wednesday? It's Wednesday, right? Wednesday night?
No, is I think
Thursday?
is Thursday six.
It's six.
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday. Okay. Really looking forward to that game. So we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But we transition a little bit and we go full send into F1. Had the most boring Grand Prix a 2 weeks ago. Well, a week and a half ago at this point. Um, in Monaco. Charles finally got his win, but looking ahead, back to better things, better racing, um, better tracks to go racing in the Canadian Grand Prix. I will not be going to that.
I was just about to answer. I was just about to answer. Everybody this is down on it already.
yeah,
Jeez, boy.
if I had to be going, I would have only gone to the qualifying. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about it and sitting down that long for some racing in the last couple of years has been not, I guess, that appealing. But we'll see where it goes from here on because now we're getting teams in the midst. And that brings me to my first question for you, Rayvon. What are your expectations from the top four teams, and namely McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes? I think those are
Um,
top four. You know.
Let me start with McLaren. I think beginning of this season, I think I had posed a question. I don't know if it was to you or to myself. I don't know what it was.
Mhm.
I, I don't know. I just felt coming in, the McLaren team would have been better than the Mercedes throughout this season, and we've seen that pretty much every single race for the whole season so far.
Yep.
Um, I think their drivers are in exceptional form. Piastri, as I predicted to you, I think it was off stream last week. I predicted
Yeah.
him to win the next race because he looked real good right now. So
Mhm.
he might win this Canadian GP. Um,
That'll be exciting.
yeah,
Like,
it would be. Uh, him and Norris for one, so that'd be crazy. I don't know
yeah.
if that exactly happened, but we see how it goes. But
Mhm.
yeah, and Lando, Verstappen, and Carlos Sainz to me have been the three best drivers all season long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, it's only looking up for McLaren from my perspective. So I think they will continue to maintain that position for the rest of the season. Mercedes have been looking absolutely atrocious. I don't know if they had any upgrades or anything in the past couple of weeks. I don't
I
know. You
think
could
they
inform
brought
me.
some in Monaco, but obviously they couldn't show. anything much in Monaco because of how one line and slow the track is, like no overtakes really. So we'll see what happens in Canada for sure. But yeah,
Like,
they'll have some upgrades.
yeah, I watched. I don't know if you know about Hot Ones. Like the show,
Yeah,
right?
I actually watched that today,
Season
bro.
one. Yeah, I watched Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis, yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
actually watched that today.
So that would have been coming from Miami Grand Prix. I presume that he would have done it then.
Yeah,
And it was clear based on his sporty comments that he is not very confident with the car. I don't
yeah,
know how much that can change going forward. Even in that short, he might be taking shots. That's crazy. But
yeah.
um, I don't. Yeah. Mercedes lost a hope from me specifically, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure from a lot of Mercedes fans. So it's difficult to see where they can go from here. Uh,
Yeah,
Red Bull in a decent spot. They fought off a little bit, but I feel like they will regain some form in the coming weeks. Perez has been quite underwhelming, if you ask me. His past few races, Max has been dealing with some issues, but he's still in the thick of the top five most of
yeah,
the time. In the last race, he came below. That's probably the first race in the world that he was below the top five.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's an outlier because like you
yeah,
can't really overtake in
yeah, it does be saying
Monaco.
that.
So it's like,
Yeah, the Monaco track is a tough one. Boring
yeah,
one, as you say, you ain't really got much action going on because of the track limitations. But yeah, we can see them open up. Max will probably get to open up some outposts in this Canadian Grand Prix. And
mhm.
Red Bull should be, I guess, at the top of the standings in this one some way, even though we're predicting a Piastri win. Uh, and then so that's Red Bull, Mercedes, um, McLaren. Who am I missing? Ferrari.
Mhm.
I don't know. I ain't really got. I don't know what to say about Ferrari, man. I glad Charles got the win last year. I mean, last race. Sorry.
Yeah,
Um, I just feel like it's still a repeat of last year to some extent when they look at the recipe for their success in the terms of like they do so great in qualifying, and then when it gets to the actual race, the race pace don't ever be there. Like, I feel like
yeah,
still a little bit of that same thing going on. Oh no, and
a
if
little
it
bit for sure.
yeah,
To
yeah, if it don't change,
sometimes,
yeah, if it don't change draft a little bit more drastically than it has, because it just changed incrementally this toss because Sainz did get away, and Sainz is performing well in Ferrari, but I feel
yeah.
they did just a little bit more for me to be
But
more confident in their success.
but I think in Imola, Charles got the better of Piastri though. Like Piastri wasn't able to pass Charles, so I think that was a positive sign from Ferrari, um, making progress into the race space side of things.
Yeah,
So I'll be actually interested to see what that looks like in Canada.
let's see if they can capitalize on this momentum coming um, from that track. If there's any momentum at all, I don't know if momentum works in F1 really the same way, but so many things could go wrong so easily. Um,
Maybe just confidence, like
yeah, confidence. Yeah.
drivers' confidence, team confidence. Yeah, like in
So
coming into the weekend.
Kind of
that's my
aspect.
thought. Yeah, that's my thoughts on all 40 teams right now, and the drivers sprinkled in a little bit. But I would say Red Bull. If I had to order them, Red Bull, McLaren for me, Ferrari and Mercedes. That would be my order. A whole way rank. The teams finish out the season.
Yeah, I would change that to say Max McLaren, and then the other two. That's how I ever run that.
hmm
So my take on this other thing I was thinking about is Sergio Perez in another slump. Last year, like he went on a big slump just before the halfway mark. Um, and it seems like he's back in something similar. Um, since Australia, he hasn't quite hooked it up. Really, he had a good showing. I think it was Chinese Grand Prix. One of them between it was Miami, I believe. Yeah, Miami. He had a pretty decent showing, but nothing really to yell about in that sense when it comes to Sergio Perez. So interesting to see what will happen this weekend for him for sure. Not sure if he's got it hooked up quite as yet, but I think because the other teams are gaining confidence and are looking stronger, he's going to be a back marker for those top four teams for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too. He caused a lot of pressure on him coming into this race specifically, given how his last few races had been. And as you see, like
Yeah,
a lot of the other teams are gaining some confidence. Ferrari, McLaren for sure. Uh, I don't know about. I don't know what many other teams would say that of those two. But I
mm.
guess maybe if you want to take an outlier team, I don't know who you would put. Like RB. Like that's a stretch.
Yuki's being fast.
Yeah, Yuki, but
Yuki's
I
being
don't know
fast.
if he was to put he against Sainz. I mean, against
Nah,
Perez. Yeah, yeah, I doubt it. But
I don't know,
mm,
man. I don't know. I don't know.
well,
I
we see this
feel like
race. We'll see this race because,
yeah,
as I said, the
for sure.
pressure's on Saint on Perez right now to really perform because of these last four showings. So, but his seat, I tell you, his seat gone. But I did see a report come out saying that they're
That he might
likely
be
to,
saying.
yeah, that they're likely to resign him. I think that's a poor choice.
I mean,
Because
Rebel just needs somebody to not get him Matt's his way, I guess. And they just want so I feel their recipe supposed to be Max will win the championship as a driver, and then we just need somebody that will be able to match him enough to rack up the
yeah,
points. But
yeah,
Sergio Perez isn't doing that, so I
yeah,
don't see
correct.
why
I
they
don't
would
see
go
how
and
they
spend
resign it.
him.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they'll figure it out. But yeah, he got a lot. He got a lot of pressure coming into
Yeah,
this specific race. We see how he performs under the pressure. It could be a telling tale for him on the outlook for his future, in my opinion. And I guess for the rest of the season, he's still got a lot of races left. But oh
yeah.
man, he's been trending downwards since last year. So uh, it's tough.
But he
So
got some young drivers that better than him for sure. Yeah, go ahead, Hawking.
So I was gonna say, so based on that, so who you guys expect to be next winner of a Grand Prix this year then?
well, I already placed my pick. I
Piastri is
got
probably
Piastri winning this. Yeah, I got Piastri winning this
Piastri's
next
probably
race.
the most probable guy because I don't see Perez winning nothing. Everybody else in front of he got a crash for he
Yeah.
to win. I like I just haven't seen the form. Not saying that he's not capable. I
Mhm.
just haven't seen the form from the guy to be able to do it. So Piastri is probably next in line. He was this close to getting pole in Monaco, and he would have
Yeah,
been a race winner in Monaco, which would have been
yeah,
crazy
probably.
to have his first race win in Monaco is wild.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
he was just a few times off, and I think he's probably the next in line because let's face it, everybody else got a win so far for the season in the top three teams. Mercedes, they're thereabouts, but we're not expecting them to pass everybody else in front.
okay.
Um, so yeah, Max won, Sainz won, Charles won, Lando won. Next man in line got to be Piastri, and then everybody else after that, unless
I,
somebody come
I
with
don't
a
got. Yeah, it got.
insane drive and some bad luck happening. That's the only way I could see.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the only way somebody else of that group wins is if they had a terrible day, you had the wind was
Yeah,
falling, and you had a lot of safety cars, and it ended up just working
mechanical
out in your
issues
favor.
or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
like I don't see Mercedes getting a race a win this year. I mean, they could turn it around and surprise me, but I'd be surprised. That may surprise me.
things do happen for sure.
Yeah. Um, but nobody else is looking like capable to be on top in that regard, in my opinion. Outside of those couple of teams.
Yeah. So yeah. My last question to you will be constructors' favorites
Hmm.
from the first. What, I can't remember how many races it is. Probably 6 races, 7 races or so.
I don't know what the score right now, to be honest, but I know it
Who do you
close.
see as a constructors' favorites? Yeah, it's getting close. It's 24 points between Ferrari and Red Bull.
Right. I was just gonna say Ferrari might be in a spot to do something there, upset the apple cart a little bit. But
Yeah.
again, they're just gonna get their race pace and get some points from the races themselves. Like they're doing good in qualifying so often, but
Yeah.
then
All
they're
I'm
matching
saying is
that,
that
that quality.
Max can't do it by himself. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's
So
that.
so if Perez behind other people and not really contributing as much as he should to the tally, then
Yeah.
Ferrari definitely going to chip away at that lead and eventually um, pass Red Bull for the constructors championship. So
Correct.
we,
So
we'll see
yeah.
in the next couple of races how that plays out. But I definitely
Is
thought
it when you bet on Ferrari getting better or Perez getting better? Like
first
Mhm.
the
it's
former,
yeah, correct.
the former,
So,
like
uh,
they've definitely shown upward trend. They just gotta be thereabouts with McLaren as well, because McLaren is the only other team that could mess up their points
yeah,
totals every race by finishing before them or in between them or whatever. So I mean, I don't think Red Bull is going to get constructors this year. That's just my take.
it close. Yeah, really close right now.
So yeah, that's pretty much it, people. Thanks for sticking around for F1. I know it's not as juicy sometimes as basketball, but um, we appreciate you. We appreciate you sticking around and hanging out with us. Um, any other thing from you guys? Anything you want to talk about? Mention quickly.
Just to mention quickly, last week I would have mentioned that how it was a big Champions League finals that played yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, Saturday. Sorry, Real Madrid
Hmm.
versus Borussia Dortmund. As expected, Real Madrid won the match. They made history. They have no 15 Champions Leagues titles, which
That's
is
insane.
the most by any
Best team,
club.
bro.
Uh, they won it to love. Vinicius Jr. got the second goal, and I think it was
Danny Carvajal.
yes, I got the first goal. Yes, that's
Header
right. From a header from the
from the
corner from
corner.
Tony Cruz.
Oh
Tony,
my god.
Tony Cruz goes out
FIFA
as a
S
legend. Goes out
FIFA
as a
S
legend.
type of goals.
It's
Oh,
true.
Tony
It's
Cruz
true.
retiring?
Yes, yeah, at the end of this season.
Okay.
Well, at the end of the after Euros, so he's gonna play Euros, which is
Okay.
he's plays with Germany. So Germany has a pretty good chance this year of winning the Euros. They're not the favorites, but they have a good chance, like a dark horse. But
Mhm.
so Real Madrid, they've done it again. You can't bet against them in the finals. And then to make things worse for every other team, the day after they won, or 2 days after they won the Champions League finals, they announced that
Yep.
they have Kylian Mbappe joining the club. That is a top move. That is the
So
kind of
who is going to
that
be
is
cut is the
the
question.
that's the kind of greed that they talk about in the Bible. That is a overload. That's an overpowered team right there. And I've been asking myself that same question: if they can make everyone gel, and Mbappe has to go and play striker. If he doesn't play striker, then it's going to offset the chemistry because technically speaking,
So then
Vinicius.
Bellingham got to play mid,
Well, he always plays mid, but Vinicius Junior is regarded as the best player for this year, roughly.
but he's a
Jane,
winger though.
exactly. Mbappe is also a winger. They play the same position. It's considered
Oh,
Vinicius Junior's
that
team
forward.
when you have Mbappe coming to play left wing. So it's like, are you going to take what team? Is it your team? So the world is very curious to see how it's going to work out. There are a lot of haters out there. I can understand why, but for me, for it to work, Mbappe has to become the striker, or he has to change to play on the right wing as opposed to the left wing, and then Rodrigo have to become the striker. So if Mbappe doesn't play
Mhm.
striker, the chemistry is going to be offset. Someone's going to hold bench. Someone's gonna be sold eventually, and then it's so interesting. But all we can say, they probably have the strongest team. No, not probably. They have the strongest team by far in the world. They just won, so they already have the strongest team. But to add Mbappe is like the team is overpowered in
I was
every
like, KD going to
capacity.
the Warriors.
That, that's like LeBron James bought to join the Warriors too. It's like they don't need him. They don't need him. They don't need him. But hey, I'm here all for it. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be very interesting next year. It's gonna be very interesting next year. And the best part of it all, or
Yeah, it
the
sounded
or
like it can be interesting at all.
nah, it will be, it will be, it will be, it will be. But the interesting part is that he came for free. That's the part that has to hurt a lot of the his former team
Also,
PSG. He came on
so
a
they
free
make ain't
transfer.
nothing.
Nothing, nothing. His contract, I swear, the president of France offered him everything. Like honestly, it's been going on for years. Mbappe was supposed to
But
leave
yeah,
to
we
come
talked
to
about it.
Madrid at least 2 3
Yeah.
years ago. The president said, "Hold up, hold up, hold up. You are a legend for France. We need you. Stay in the country. We'll give you what you want. The man's salary is outrageous, but he waited until his contract expired and he's walking for free. So that's a bad business decision by PSG because they lost. They could have easily got 150 million for him, a player, if I'm being honest. So
Uh,
that's what makes it
they
so
gonna blame the
sporty.
president as well.
Yep, and Barca's
I
gonna
guess
feel
there was hoping that Killian would have been loyal to
the
France.
man stayed for they were trying for
And
3 years. The rumors were going on for 3 years. He lasted as long as he could.
yeah,
They should know it was what happened. When we're
yeah,
whoever Real Madrid wants, they get. It may not happen in one season, it might not happen in two, but best believe it will happen.
that's the
So
club to play for.
it is.
That and
So wait,
Barcelona, but Real Madrid more
by
so.
chance, I can you know the disparity in terms of Champions League finals? Like, what's the
Uh,
closest
fif-
in terms of
Real
number of
Madrid is
wins?
Real Madrid is on 15 now. Liverpool is second with 7, and
Wow,
I can't remember who's in
two
third.
times,
That is well
two
Real Madrid
times. That's
boy.
crazy.
Real Madrid, best
Yeah,
football club.
it's crazy out there right now. Where Madrid is,
Relentless.
sorry, my bad. Milan is in second with 7. Liverpool's in third with 6.
AC
So
Milan.
yeah, AC Milan. Sorry, yeah, AC
How
Milan.
many Barcelona got?
5.
That's well, boy. Real
Yeah,
Madrid.
or Madrid owns this competition. They might need a trophy, the Real trophy afterwards.
But that's very cool.
And
I
to add
was
on as well,
happy.
too, I think there are now a
Yeah.
few players on the Real Madrid team who actually have the most Champions League in history. Well, they already had it, but I think they've made it. I think they've expanded that league. So Luka Modric has about 6. I think Carvajal has about 6. Tony Cruz
Yeah.
has about 6, and there's another player that has about 6.
Place that stayed.
Yeah. So they're on another level. Like they have thing, but they have 6. They have the most. They have more. They have more trophies than most clubs in the world. So you're on a different
That's
level.
insane.
Yeah, it is. So that's it for me. Football has been interesting. I guess to mention
I
West
feel like
Indies too.
I can start following football next
Yeah,
year
for,
though.
this summer is gonna be pretty hype with the Euros. The Euros is playing, and right now the two favorites to win will be England and France. Both
Make a
teams
true link
are
now.
both teams are overpowered right now. Mbappe plays for France, of
France, the
course.
African nation. Yeah.
It's true.
That's true. That's true.
Very true.
So right now those two teams are going at it. They're loaded. Bellingham plays for England. Uh, Mbappe is French. The teams are powerful right now. So those are the two teams to win. If neither of those two teams win, I think the whole world would be honestly surprised.
Well, I here for the surprises, so there we go.
Yep. Let's go.
Not
Let's
me.
do it.
I-
Nah, it's only you got money in this thing.
Hey,
nah. But I know football. I know one of these two teams go win this tournament. I'd be so shocked. But we'll see. We'll see.
We shall see. That's true.
Or you was mentioning cricket there just now. West Indies.
West Indies got their first win against Papua New Guinea. These like follow-ups from last weekend, from last stream.
Mhm.
Sorry, but West Indies got their win against Papua New Guinea. So they won the
We up
first
on
match
ourselves,
as I
Indies.
expected. The West Indies have to go to this group stage, or
That's all
they
this man
cannot,
say.
or it's
They ain't
on
gonna do
record,
nothing.
or it done support this team. A 5-year ban. I done. They, so they did a job when the first game.
Was it
To me,
close?
it was close in
Nah,
score. It was
they
close to
killed it.
score line. They won by wickets, yes, but
Yeah,
they took like 19 or 20 overs, 19.4, 19.5 overs to get 100 and 190 something. I think it was, but
That was a
I'm
lot.
not 30 saying that saying so.
130 something.
190
It
something
was
is
a
a
that much.
lot.
Yeah.
I was saying he's play
Sorry,
150.
130, 137. But USA versus Canada, it was in the 190s.
Call it, yeah. Oh, that
Yeah.
fella, the fella from here scored 90 saying or saying so. They see somebody named Aaron Jones
Yeah, Aaron Jones, yeah,
Aaron
he got
Jones, yeah.
yeah, and
for
I
the
think we
USA
had another
team.
yeah, and we had another Barbadian, Nicholas Curtin. I think he got 51 for Canada as well. So the two
Mm.
Bajan lads were firing.
West Indies lads.
Or them, because
West Indies lads.
how much Barbadian cricket players playing different national teams?
I don't know.
Oh,
Ridiculous, big man.
I don't feel it's that many, but they got
What
they
do you
got a
mean?
couple.
it got a
Like,
good spread. It got
Four,
some
no,
five.
but you
England.
had some from before too. Like you had
Yeah.
Benjamin that used to play for the England team before. What's called it?
For
Um,
Jofra.
you calling it?
Joffrey.
Yeah, you had one or two
Joffrey.
Benjamin that play on the English team. I don't know the born here, but I don't know if they live here all
It's,
the
it's
time.
hard.
But
It's
I
hard.
mean,
It's hard to get into West Indies squad because they don't rotate their players well enough, in my
well,
opinion.
we know the
Yeah,
politics.
yeah, yeah. They don't really rotate players. So yeah, that's a thing. That's a conversation for another stream.
Yeah, well, thank you
Right.
guys for sticking around. It's been a long one today. Appreciate you. As
Super
always,
over.
hit that like button and we gonna be back next week. Stay tuned. We can talk F1 next week. We can talk first games in the NBA series next week. And then anything else. Maybe some cricket. Maybe I might take a peek and see what's
Let's see what's
going
going
on
on.
in the cricket world. So yeah. Thanks for tuning in, peoples. Hasher Bros signing out. See you all later. Till next week. Peace.